Economic Outlook continues now with news about the U.S. tariffs. The reciprocal tariff imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump on Indonesian goods recently could bring a double-edged sword to the country's ailing textile industry, as the local industry will face difficulties not only to export but also to sell their products in the domestic market.
With the 32% tariff imposed by the U.S., the Indonesian textile faces a double-edged sword. First, Trump's high tariff policy will bring more difficulties to the country's textile products to enter the U.S. market because the Indonesian textile products will be more expensive. Second, the Indonesian textile products will also have difficulties to compete with cheap imported products from other countries such as China, which is expected to dump their products to Indonesia for being unable to enter the U.S. market. Consequently, Indonesian textile producers will not only have lower exports to the U.S., but also lower sales in the domestic market. According to export data published by Statistics Indonesia or BPS, the Indonesian textiles, apparel, and footwear industry recorded a positive performance throughout 2024. During the years, textile exports increased by 7.5% to $7.11 billion from $6.61 billion in 2023. The textile products exported to the U.S. mainly consist of footwear, knitted clothing, and non-knitted clothing. The reciprocal tariff could significantly cut Indonesia's textiles exports to the U.S. this year. Meanwhile, Indonesia's Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs Airlangga Hartarto said recently that currently Indonesian textile and garment products are subject to import tariffs reaching up to 47%, significantly higher than the previous range of 10 to 37%. Speaking to reporters after his visit to Washington, Airlangga said that the U.S. tariff policy will have a significant impact on the competitiveness of Indonesian export products in the U.S. market. However, the main problem of the country's textile industry is the influx of cheap imported products. This problem could be even getting worse, as many global producers, especially China, will likely dump their textile products in a big market like Indonesia to avoid restriction imposed by the US. If the government is unable to protect local textile companies, more textile producers will potentially shut down their factories. According to the Indonesian Filament, Fiber, and Yarn Producers Associations, as many as 61 factories closed throughout 2023 to 2024, including PT Sri Rejeki Isman or Sritex, which is one of the big players in this industry. The association's chairman, Redma Gita Wiraswasta, said that the main cause of the collapse of the textile industry is not only due to the bankruptcy which hit Sritex, but also due to the onslaught of imported products that have made local products lose their competitiveness. A number of companies such as PT Asia Citra Pratama, PT Jonitex Indo, PT Rayon Utama Makmur, and PT Wisca Sumedang have also experienced a similar fate, showing that this problem is quite serious in the national textile industry. Therefore, one of the most important actions that the government should do is to protect local industry from illegal imports. By doing so, the government can avoid another wave of layoff in the textile industry. Law enforcement against illegal imports and policies that favor the domestic industry are a crucial lifeline for the country's textile industry.
Moreover, on the Indonesian textile industry, which is facing a double-edged sword now following the implementation of the U.S.'s reciprocal tariffs, local textile producers now do not only have to face higher tariff to export, but also have to compete with cheap textile goods in the domestic market. Now we have here with us in the studio Retma Gita Wirawasta, the chairman of the Association of the Indonesian Synthetic Fiber Producers, will be talking with us about the impact of the U.S. tariffs on the Indonesian textile industry. Hello, good day, Pak Retma. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio.
Good day. Hello.
I know that these are challenging times and you must be quite busy with your association with the whole Indonesian textile industry now. So we truly appreciate you coming here.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we want to talk specifically about the recent implementation of the U.S. tariffs on, especially on the Indonesian textile industry. As we know, according to Minister Airlangga Hartarto, Indonesia textile now face up to 47% tariff.
Yeah.
Now, what kinds of textile products will be implemented when you talk about this certain condition?
Yeah, it's all to all,
Okay.
not only for textile, to all product. For textile, for HS code from 50 to 63 is implement. But I think today the reciprocal is delayed. So we not receive this tariff.
Okay.
But the tariff actually today implement for MFN 5 to 15% plus 10%. So now the tariff between 15 to 25.
I see. So when you explain it like that, that means even before our envoy went to Washington, D.C., it's always been 47% from the beginning. So we can clear that up now for everyone who misunderstood a bit about what happened exactly before and after our economic team went to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, this is misunderstood in our country.
Okay.
Because before reciprocal tariff, our MFN is most favorite nation. This tariff is implement to all country from America for all product. Indonesia also the same, 5 to 15% is depend on the goods, is depend on the SS code.
Okay.
Like the upstream, like our export for fiber and yarn is around 5%, but for garment is 15%. And before the reciprocal, also Trump add 10% tariff is also to all countries same 10%. So we have to pay let's say 5 to plus 10% and 15% to 25%. And then Trump also add the reciprocal tariff. The reciprocal tariff is different. In every country there's own calculate from U.S. government, and Indonesia get 32%. So totally, if we count from the MFN and reciprocal tariff, it's among 47% to 57%.
Wow. Okay, thank you for all the details. Now let's talk about the impact for the Indonesian textile industry. Now that the textile products from Indonesia have a 40% tariff when they enter the U.S., it serves us with quite a challenge because U.S. is our biggest export destination. How can we still compete in that market now?
Yeah, for the textile industry is around 35% of export destination is to U.S. market.
Okay, quite big percentage.
It's big percentage, when we have the additional tariff, of course, it will be the this competitiveness. I think our competitiveness getting less in U.S. market, but we have also calculate the another country tariff, like China, like Vietnam. China, I think, I don't know how much China tariff today, but Vietnam is higher than us, about 34%. But India less than us. India and Pakistan is less than us. So there is some market. It's a changing rule. There is changing rule in the U.S. market. But in the one side we get the higher tariff, but other side another country get the higher tariff also. So I think there is some opportunities to to get the US market, that Chinese market cannot compete in that side. Yeah. But we have also to calculate, the important thing we have to calculate with the domestic industry in US market, because in last 2 years US government, they push their garment industry to reactivate. So there's some new industry, they activate their garment industry.
Okay, so like they're opening up factories, they're building up their own industry.
Yes, but of course the capacity is cannot fulfill their own
demand.
consumption, their own demand. Yeah. So they still need import. So the game in there. That is one side. The challenging is, there's a challenging, but there's opportunities also. This depend on the businessman how to react or how to lobby their buyers in US market. That's one side. The other side is because the China export get the higher tariff, so the world will be oversupply.
With Chinese products?
With Chinese products, because it's very big. The Chinese products is very big. The oversupply, the stock in this oversupply will come to Indonesia also.
And we've been seeing this happening for the past few years already. You're saying there's going to be even more now.
Yes, now this will be more. You know that in the last information, our PMI is dropped. Our IKI is index for industry trust about their business. This is also dropped because this thing, because they do not pessimistic. They pessimistic that they can survive even in their own market, because the China market will come and because the overstock, they will come to Indonesia with very cheap price. This is the second problem.
Okay. Now before we talk about China and their products coming to Indonesia, I want to go back to Indonesia-U.S. economic relations. We understand now that we cannot solely depend on U.S. as a market. So some people are saying it's good to shift our focus to find other export destinations. But of course, it's not easy. Now, what would you suggest would be the most practical and feasible way for us to still compete with our export quota?
To diversify market is not easy, because China also will get to all market in all the world. So I think if we want to still have the advantage to export to US market, of course we have to negotiate. But also we have to try to use US goods to make their deficit trade smaller. Because the problem is we are surplus to US.
So we should buy
trade.
more products from the US. Is that what you're saying?
We have to use more product we have to use more product from US. And also in the USTR document, also they have another way how to export more to US. They say if our product use minimum 20% content, US content, we can get the discount tariff too.
So they provided a loophole for us to keep on exporting.
Of course the loophole is about how to make the deficit smaller.
So it's all about them trying to balancing the trade deficit that's been going on over there. Which is fair enough, but we still also have to take care of our own interests, right? So I want to go follow up your previous statement about the overflow of Chinese cheap products. They will be coming into Indonesia for sure, because they need to export their own products now that they cannot rely on the US anymore. How can we compete with that, Pak Retma? Because as we've already been seeing for the past few years, we are already been facing quite a challenge with these products from China. Now that the tariff is also implemented, how can we compete with all of that?
Yeah, I think this is time for us, for the businessmen, for the government to do the old homework,
Okay.
because the situation is, the situation is happen in in a few years,
Okay.
and until now still happen. We have a problem with the illegal import. Also, we have a problem to implement the trade remedies. Also, we have a problem about the online shop.
Yeah.
And this is the problem in local market. So
Okay.
we have. I think this is the time to concern to
Okay.
do the whole homework. Yeah.
All right. So from that explanation, you believe that the industry is under-regulated. Now, my last question is that your suggestion for the government to make sure that the textile industry in Indonesia can keep on being competitive? How can they still be competitive, both in domestic and international market, Pak Retma?
Yeah, the first thing is the domestic market first. Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is also related with how we can negotiate with the US. You know that US try to export a lot more to Indonesia.
Yeah.
We can do import a lot from America, from the US. Like we can use the US cotton.
Okay.
But the cotton consumed by private, right? Not by government. If the government also negotiate, they will buy more gasoline, more gas, more petrol
Okay.
from a US market. I think it can be happen because this is
Okay.
government spending, right?
Yeah.
But if we try to import more cotton, try to import more soybean or corn, this is import by private. So how government can make some policy
Okay.
to encourage this private to use more US goods, yeah.
Okay.
And in the textile side, we can use more cotton if government can stop illegal import from other country.
Okay.
We can use more cotton if government more control import
Okay.
from other country because the cotton is upstream product. The import today is more to downstream and midstream.
Okay.
We cannot increase the import of upstream if the market float by downstream product and midstream product. So this is the challenging for government how to more control import in downstream and this midstream.
Okay. So basically more G2G cooperation, government to
Yes,
government
right.
cooperation, and more regulation
Yeah,
to
right.
make sure that all the business is being done fairly in the
Right.
domestic market.
Yeah.
Pak Retma Gita Wirawasta, Chairman of the Association of the Indonesian Synthetic Fiber Producers, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your precious insights, and we wish you all the best in your work and all the best for the Indonesian textile industry. Thank you, Pak Retma.
Thank you.